What's going on, guys? How y'all doing tonight? This is the Club with the Man 1993. I am here live for my live review of Survivor Series 2020. Took place last night, November 22nd, 2020, at the WWE ThunderDome in Orlando, Florida, at the Amway Center. Again, I'm not going to talk about this show too long. I mean, there's really one match I'm going to just tear apart limb from limb from limb from limb. This show was almost exactly what I expected it to be. Just a very skippable show that most of the matches were watchable. They were, tolerable. Good matches, but I will continue to say this for a long time. Long time. And it's just the fact that Survivor Series just needs one little tweak to it. Stakes. A reason for why we are having brand versus brand matches. Not just for bragging rights or whatnot. No. Have a purpose, just please. Because I really just can't take watching shows like this that are literally so pointless that they win the match, awesome, but what do they get in return? What do they freaking get in return? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And of course, since WWE once again didn't even try to, make something out of this show, they had to go ahead. Well, they made this show basically based around The Undertaker's final farewell, which we will talk about that at the end as well. Other than that, a bunch of stuff that didn't even matter. We had a battle royale on the pre-show. Just brand versus brand. And the winner got nothing. The winner got absolutely nothing. No title opportunity, even though the person who won, of course, has won whenever he wants to take it. No title opportunity, no, just nothing. They got nothing out of it. So what the heck is the point of a battle royale if you're not going to get anything out of it? Nothing. And that's what Survivor Series is. Like, why view it as a big four, as one of the bigger shows of the year, when literally nothing happens? All the matches on this show mean absolutely nothing. Like, there was no, yes, during the build, a couple Raw superstars went to SmackDown for a night, and that was it. That was it. Like there was no, Raw under siege, or women just breaking in and just tearing it up with the opposing brand or whatnot. None of that. None of that whatsoever. They didn't even keep a tally. Raw technically won this year, but they didn't even keep a tally of which brand was the winner. That's how much the show went. It was pointless. Now, was it a complete disaster? No. But it was one of those shows that, again, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Well, the main event was good. Most of the matches were good wrestling matches. But what stories came out of them? Nothing. And then we have that worst match of the year candidate I will rip apart piece by piece by piece. Okay, maybe not that crazy, but that I will just tear up. And strongly dislike that match. That one women's Survivor Series match. We'll talk about that as well. So let's, of course, greet the live chat, see who's here, and let's talk about it. What's up, JR? Says, I thought that the Roman Reigns versus SmackDown match was good, and the Undertaker's 30, your retirement is the greatest of all time. He cried a little when he left retired. Definitely, can feel the pain there for sure, buddy. What's up, Mark? I'm alright. I'm surprised Miz didn't cash in as well in the show. What's up, Tyler? Everybody thought that the only good thing about the show is Undertaker. 7 out of 10, Tyler gave it. Thought it was better than 2018. Okay. Fair game there. Alright. But let's talk about this. So, nothing I watched on the pre-show, but apparently there was again a brand versus brand battle royale, basically. And all I know, I heard apparently they had a sequence between Rey Mysterio and Kalisto a couple years ago. You could have wanted to see that match. I don't know if I still want to see it. Who knows? Because Kalisto is really just dumbed down with his lucha things. So I don't know if it was like the Kalisto from in NXT when he first came to the main roster and he was U.S. champion, quite possibly. But now, I don't know about now. I don't know about now if I want to see it. Maybe, I don't know. Well, so you just have Rey Mysterio coming off a feud where his daughter overshadowed both himself and his daughter and his son in a feud that was technically meant to make his son a star, but instead it made Aaliyah Mysterio an actress. But it came down to, I guess the final two were Dominic Mysterio and The Miz, even though, he had knocked The Miz out of the ring, but not over the top rope. We thought at first Dominic had won when he eliminated Chad Gable. Then Miz came back in out of nowhere and just dumped Dominic over the top rope to win the Battle Royale. And what did Miz get out of it? Nothing. I thought maybe that would be a sign of him maybe cashing in later on the show, but didn't happen. I don't know what he's going to brag about on Raw tonight, which starts in 15 minutes, about how he won it, a pointless Battle Royale that had absolutely nothing on the line. Yeah, that's right. That's basically what it's going to be. So that was on the pre-show. Also, we had the Gobbledygooker appear and pin R-Truth for the 24/7 championship. So it took 30 years in the business for the Gobbledygooker to become a champion. Yeah, a champion that just anyone can get. It was like a freaking Fisher-Price toy. But later in the show, Akira Tozawa set some weird trap with bird seeds. And he got the title before R-Truth took him out and took the title back. And didn't care. That was happening in the pre-show. To my surprise, we opened up with the men's 5-on-5 Survivor Series elimination match. Team Raw's AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Matt Riddle, Braun Strowman, and Sheamus taking on SmackDown's Seth Rollins, Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, Baron Corbin, and Otis. Now, as first to point out here, Keith Lee debuted his new theme music, which I will say I still prefer his theme music from NXT. He had two themes in NXT when he first came, and then of course when he started, getting a major push. That theme of course is still his best one. Of course, it is involving Lee's voice. He rapped in it, and he had his input in it as well. It's still not as good as his original theme music in NXT, but I like it much, much better than that generic-ass theme he had when he first came up. Again, just that heartbreaking, "Oh, bask in his glory, for he is limitless." Whatever hell that was. Again, that freaking lazy-ass generic theme music. But at least he has something now that is his own, which I like. And this match, pointless to me. Nothing really happened. It just told again that story they really, really emphasized in the build about Team Raw working together to become a cohesive unit, and nothing was working out. SmackDown, on the other hand, literally never had any tease of these five trying to build any chemistry. None whatsoever. And other than Otis, Otis had a couple good back and forth sequences with Keith Lee and with Braun Strowman. He had some good back and forth sequences with them. But of course, the result was, though, Raw won with a clean sweep. Each member of Team Raw had an elimination. And it started, the first person who got eliminated from this entire match was Seth Rollins. He got eliminated when he was asked to be tagged in. He gets down on both knees in front of Sheamus and goes, Do your job. Sheamus hits a bro kick, and Rollins sacrificed himself for the greater good, and he was the first person to be eliminated from the match. So is that the way to write off Rollins? I guess, again, he's supposed to be taking time off because Becky Lynch, which, by the way, if you haven't seen the photos, Becky's got a good belly bump. Becky's going to be giving birth to their child in December, which is next month. So Seth Rollins did was for the greater good, sacrificed himself. Now he's going to have to become a daddy. Probably won't be back till Rumble, I'm going to guess. So cool, but strange. Like, if they were going to do that, like, why not have had just when Murphy beat him on Friday, for that to be the write-off? Like, why have him come in this match and just do that? Slight bit of a waste of spot, maybe? I don't know. So Sheamus eliminated him. Then, I think then it was, it was then, AJ Styles eliminated Kevin Owens with a phenomenal forearm. Kind of early to see Owens go. I thought, and then Matt Riddle, who I thought, I'm sorry, Riddle me this, Riddle, but nope, he's still gonna be Matt Riddle to me as always. Matt Riddle got his comeuppance and eliminated King Corbin with a floating bro. I was fine with that. Braun Strowman then eliminated Otis, and then Keith Lee eliminated Jey Uso when Jey Uso went to do the Uso Splash, or Samoan Splash, caught him in midair on his shoulders, and then spun him around into a Spirit Bomb. Keith Lee gets the winning pin. Okay, all 5 members of Raw got elimination. Clean sweep. That's all it was. I feel nothing came out of it, though. I mean, SmackDown looked like a bunch of goons. Nobody benefited from it, really. Nobody at all. Pointless. They didn't really... Like, last year with Keith Lee, being the sole survivor, a moment maker there. This one was like... Team Raw just won. Nothing really special came out of it, I thought. Just an average match. Just nothing that special. Seemed much better. We had that match to open up the show. The second match was a fun tag match between New Day's Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods taking on the Street Profits, SmackDown Tag Team Champions Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins. New Day came out with Big E in that gear for whatever that game is called that they're playing. I can't remember what it was. They came out wearing that gear, and Big E was there, and then he just disappeared, which was random. I don't know. Street Profits came out, and I thought these guys worked very well together, as you'd expect. They're both character gimmicks. I mean, there's definitely a lot of star power as singles potential for sure, as I always put over in Montez Ford. I still see him being. I mean, I'm not saying I want to see the Street Profits split up. Heck no, definitely no. But Montez Ford someday is going to be an awesome single star for sure. I thought him and Kofi worked well together, and they're definitely the bigger stars of the match. Xavier Woods and Angelo Dawkins look great as well. And of course, they went back and forth with each other, being goofy but also being serious. There was a spot in the match where Kofi disrespected the Solo Cup and actually punted it, even though they didn't really go too far because it's made of plastic. But some good back and forth action there. Some pretty good near falls also. Remember, there was a couple close ones towards the end. But then eventually, there was a point in the match where Ford hits the frog splash, but he hurts his ribs when he does the frog splash, so that prevented the win. But then eventually, I think they got the win when Dawkins, I think, hit the cash out, I think it was. So a nice little swerve there a little bit, having Dawkins get the pinfall victory. I mean, I thought it would have been Montez Ford, but again, Montez does not need to keep getting all the pins for Street Profits. I do like that they're trying to make Angelo Dawkins noticeable as well. But as should have been happening from the first place, the Street Profits win, shake New Day's hands out of respect afterwards. And I'm like, cool. These guys basically are the same the same swagger to them, basically. And just a good clash of similar styles. I thought it worked very good, as I expected. This was definitely one of the few matches that I was hyped for, and I thought that I would like to maybe been a little bit better, but I think I got out of this what I wanted to get. So, props to both of them. I thought it was good. So that was one of the best matches of the night, I would say. One of the two best matches of the night. Match number 3, the U.S. Champion Bobby Lashley versus the Intercontinental Champion Sami Zayn. Didn't care about this match at all. It was whatever. It was not horrible, but it was just whatever. It's exactly what you expected. Sami Zayn being outnumbered by the entire Hurt Business and just has literally no way of winning. Sami Zayn was dead from the start. And he's doing a bunch of ridiculous things just to cheat, to, try to outdo the Hurt Business mentally rather than physically. It just did not work. All I remember from this match was towards the end, Sami Zayn was trying to walk away. He trips over MVP's leg or something like that. He's trying to blame MVP for doing it on purpose. And then Bobby just when the referee wasn't looking, MVP just threw Sami back in, and Lash going to tap out with the Hurt Lock. That's all that happened. Again, literally probably the most pointless match of the night. Well, the most pointless, but not the worst match of the night. We still have that to get to. So that was that match. I got nothing else to really say about it. Match number 4, Asuka and Sasha Banks. A pretty good match. I think I would have liked this match a little bit better if, one, they would have just told the right story, and having Sasha Banks needing to prove herself. So this is the first time these two have encountered each other since Sasha Banks and Bayley split up. Instead, they didn't really, use that storyline, which made this match feel just a tad bit off. But still a good match. Still an excellent match. Some good counters and such. Sasha Banks won with a roll-up, which I was fine with. Again, I felt that if anybody had something to prove here and to get the momentum going again, definitely Sasha Banks. So a great win for Sasha here, and I thought it was a good match. Again, nothing really that memorable about it, but I still thought it was a good match. All right, actually, let's check the live chat first. Let me see here. They should have said Roman. They should have saved Roman and Drew McIntyre. Both Lana wasn't even in the bathroom with. What the hell? I don't know what you're saying there. AJ finally won a pay-per-view match. It's been since SummerSlam 2019. It's been that long. Really? Wow. I didn't realize that. His tweet about Lana came true. Yeah, it's all that. Alright, let's pick apart this next match. Again, I've had nothing much to really say about most of these matches, but here's one I'm going to talk a decent amount about. This, by far, may be a good candidate for worst match of the year in 2020. It's this match right here. Team Raw's Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, Peyton Royce, Lacey Evans, and Lana take on Team SmackDown's Bayley, Bianca Belair, Natalya the Boat, Ruby Riott, and Liv Morgan, the Riott Squad, in the women's 5-on-5 elimination match. First of all, we have a match that every 2 seconds they're showing a close-up of Nia's face. I was getting so annoyed by that. Every 2 seconds, I swear, they showed a close-up of Nia Jax's face, and it was just so annoying. So, obviously, the biggest story from this match going into it was Lana. And we all know, again, for the past year, Lana's has been booked like absolute shit. From the moment she locked lips with Bobby Lashley, it's been all downhill for her from there. She cheats on her husband for absolutely no clear reason whatsoever. She marries Bobby Lashley, even though Bobby Lashley is basically, a puppet that Lana pulled the strings. She, out of nowhere, was secretly in love with Liv Morgan. I completely forgot about that, actually, until now. I don't know how I even remembered that. And she gets dumped by Bobby Lashley. She got dumped by Bobby Lashley. And then, ever since her husband left to go to AEW and basically said that WWE can take that brass ring and shove it up their rear ends, ever since then, Lana has been going through a table not once, not twice, not thrice, not four times, not 5, not 6, not 7, not even 8, 9 times on live TV. And making her character basically be exactly how Vince McMahon wants her to be. Just a joke. A literal absolute joke. And just embarrassing on live WWE television. This woman has not won a match in God knows how long. And any match she's been involved with, she's never even had a praying chance. Not one. Not one. And then the match happens. Lana tagged herself in. Does some offense. They tag her out and tell her to get back, and don't get back in the match. Because the main idea was not to tag in Lana. Lana just stepped down onto the steel steps for the rest of the match. And stood there as still as a statue, crying, and her lipstick was all over her chin. She stood there like an idiot for the remainder of this match. Looking like a... I don't know what to even call her. It just looked so stupid. And then, the only spots I actually enjoyed in this match was the suplex that I think Peyton hit on Bayley to take everyone out, even though Bayley missed a lot of people apparently. It took a nasty bump on the floor. The Spanish Fly that Lacey Evans hit on Bianca, that was cool. Yeah, I always appreciated a great Spanish Fly. And then, I kind of like the way Ruby Riott got eliminated. It protected her in some ways. It was different, but... So... Peyton Royce eliminated Bayley. And then immediately, again, which was big because you literally have Peyton Royce eliminating one of the biggest names in the women's division the past year and a half, with Bayley being SmackDown Women's Champion for most of the past year and a half until she dropped to Sasha Banks. But then, immediately after Bayley gets eliminated, Peyton Royce then gets eliminated by Natalya. So, how does that work? Like, how did that balance out whatsoever? I don't know. I didn't follow along with that. I didn't get that whatsoever. So that happened. Then, I think it was Lacey Evans eliminated Natalya, and then Liv Morgan eliminated Lacey Evans, I think it was. So I think at this point it's down to Shayna Baszler, Nia Jax, Lana for Team Raw, and SmackDown it's Bianca Belair and Ruby Riott. Ruby Riott and Shayna Baszler go back and forth, and Shayna puts a Karafuda clutch on Ruby Riott. Ruby tries to flip over, like similar way how AJ Styles pinned Samoa Joe back at Hell in a Cell in 2018. But the referee was distracted, wasn't looking. But as Ruby had pinned what's it called? Went to pin Shayna. Shayna still had the clutch wrapped around her neck, and it caused for Ruby to pass out. So when the referee was not distracted, turned around, and Shayna was able to pin Ruby Riott from her being passed out. So that was fine. That was a fine way to protect Ruby. I'm not going to crap on that. So then, of course, it comes down to Nia Jax, Shayna Baszler, and Lana for Team Raw, and Bianca Belair. This is the golden opportunity to make things right. And in my preview predictions, I said what should happen is Lana somehow gets her comeuppance on Nia Jax, and somehow costs Nia Jax and gets her eliminated. And of course, Lana's gonna get eliminated at some point also. I thought like Bayley would eliminate Lana or something like that. Just someone like like Bayley could have been the one to be like okay, whatever, take that, pin Lana, get her out of there, whatever. And then have it come down to Bianca Belair and Shayna Baszler. After a good back and forth exchange, Bianca Belair would pin Shayna Baszler to be the sole survivor. That's not what happened. So first, we had Bianca Belair. Get put in the Karafuda clutch, and I'm like, no. This is where the real gut feelings, like no, this is bad, don't do this, like because Bianca Belair had to go over and come out of this match looking awesome. Like if you're gonna take her to the next level on the main roster, you gotta give her this moment. Well, Shayna got Bianca to pass out, but when Bianca passed out, her arm landed on the right arm landed on the rope. So Shayna's like, she passed out, match is over, and a referee, no, her arm's on the rope. No, she passed out, her arm's on the rope. No, she passed out. Referee counts to 5 and disqualifies Shayna Baszler. I wasn't a fan of that. I thought that was a very, very dumb way to eliminate Shayna. Again, Shayna should have been, but I still say it should have been Shayna Baszler and Bianca Belair. So now Shayna's gone, and it's down to Bianca Belair taking on Nia Jax and Lana. And I'm like, okay, at least get rid of Nia and have Bianca, just pin Lana. I do that. Instead, we got one of the worst choices WWE could have made with this. They had Bianca and Shayna brawl outside the ring, while Lana continued to stand there, lipstick all over her mouth, and by count out, both Nia Jax and Bianca Belair were eliminated, making Lana, who stood on the steps for 95% of this match looking like an idiot, was declared the sole survivor. What the hell? Did anyone believe WWE and Vince McMahon would go that low to make everyone in their women's division look like idiots? You have Lana again, who literally has been the biggest joke in this company ever since last October when she first locked lips with Bobby Lashley in that horrible love triangle storyline with Lashley and her real-life husband, Rusev, make her like an idiot there because she made no sense at all as to why she did any of the things she did, made no sense whatsoever, to just being kicked to the curb like she's a loser, literally spends most of her matches, where it's a battle royale, a Survivor Series elimination match, or whatnot, that there's multiple people involved, outside the ring like a slug, and then comes at the last second, gets some big victory all of a sudden, that she did nothing! It was one thing when she won that Battle Royale to face Asuka, the season premiere of Raw. It's another thing to be sole survivor when you did absolutely freaking nothing and you can't win a damn match! This made nobody look good. This didn't make Bianca Belair look good. She got no eliminations by herself, none whatsoever. This didn't make Ruby Riott look good. Liv Morgan. This made Peyton Royce. Well, Peyton Royce got something out of it, so she got eliminated by freaking Natalya. This did nothing for Shayna Baszler. You literally brought your whole women's division crashing down because apparently the best person in your women's division right now is Lana, who constantly does nothing but lose and gets put through the table every week like a damn joke. This match, to me, got Royal Rumble 2015 reactions from me when this match happened. Unacceptable. Like, what the hell were you thinking? This is WWE flat out playing politics and laughing. Like, if WWE can go as low as this and have Lana be sole survivor and stand on the steps like an idiot the entire time, I am literally saying this, and I cannot believe I'm saying this. This is going to be not the best thing for me to say, because I know I'll give WWE plenty of horrible ideas off of this. It's not going to surprise me if Lana wins the Royal Rumble. If they can go this low and have Lana win Survivor Series, be the sole survivor, they can make Lana win the Royal Rumble. No, hell, they'll have Lana come out as number one, get knocked under the bottom rope somehow, and she'll stay there for the rest of the freaking match and probably win the Royal Rumble. I just booked the Women's Royal Rumble for 2021. Because to me right now, you made everyone in this match look like a joke. And I feel bad for Lana. But I'm going to say this now. I feel bad for CJ Perry, the woman behind Lana. I just feel so bad for her. The treatment she's getting, like they're literally taking her and trying to make everything else look like shit around her. But yet they expect us to actually give it. I hated this match. I hated this match so much because it did literally nothing. It made everyone look like idiots. Again, nobody came out looking good in this match. Not Shayna Baszler, not Bianca Belair, who should have been the sole survivor for this. This was a career-defining moment. This was a moment maker for Bianca Belair right here. You had it in the palm of your hands, bread and butter, handed to you on a silver freaking platter, and instead you just dropped the turd right on top of it. You dropped a freaking turd on top of all this. Unacceptable, WWE. Just absolutely pathetic. What a horrible match. One of the worst matches for sure I've ever seen. And definitely, as of now, league candidate for worst match of the year for me. I'm sorry. At least the eye for an eye match, despite the horrible concept and the horrible finish to it that made no sense at all, at least there's actually some good wrestling in that match. This was horrible. This was outright abysmal. Unacceptable. So freaking unacceptable. I never want to watch this match again. It was that bad. Alright, so I apparently have french fries downstairs, so I'm going to move on. This match was good. Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre in our main event match. Good match. I know there's a lot of people who doesn't think that Roman and Drew have the best chemistry. I think they did pretty good. I like this match better also compared to, the past matches from 2019 because, they had a better dynamic going. Drew, they're both naturals now as themselves. Drew McIntyre just telling the simple story of him, coming back to WWE when he was, he was at a low point in his life a few years ago, and he didn't take life seriously more and he got fired for it. He reinvented himself, started from scratch, came back, and earned a right to be on top. While Roman Reigns has taken being on top as a right, as he's entitled to be on top. Drew McIntyre taking it as a privilege, and he wanted to prove to Roman Reigns that he is the better champion. And he sure fought his ass off in this match. This match was awesome, especially that second half. From whenever they started brawling outside, and I think it was Roman put McIntyre through a table, and then after that, Roman speared McIntyre through the barricade and knocked the barricade down behind the announce table, and then throws him back in the ring, hits a Superman punch, and another spear on him. Couldn't put him away. One of my favorite spots though in this match still, and it's, again, I've only had, besides this, there's only been one other counter that I love from the spear, and that's whenever, at Money in the Bank in 2016, when Roman Reigns went for the spear on Seth Rollins, and Seth caught Roman as he was spearing him, right in between his legs, pedigreed his ass right down. Awesome spot. This, Roman goes to do a spear on McIntyre. McIntyre catches his head right in the armpit, and it's like a future shock DDT right on him. But then, the downfall for McIntyre came when he was able to hit his biggest weapon, the Claymore kick. He Claymores Roman, as Roman again was getting frustrated because he couldn't keep McIntyre down. So, McIntyre Claymores Roman. Roman gets knocked into the referee and he gets knocked out of the ring. McIntyre then goes to continue to prey on Roman until Roman, BAM! Low blows him right in where the sun does not shine. And then hits a Superman punch. Jey Uso came running out. And I forgot to mention this earlier. Roman shoot out Jey Uso literally, knocked him off his spot. Like, basically, disowned him because Jey couldn't get the job done in the men's Survivor Series match. But Jey came out, super kicked McIntyre, and then a new referee came out, and basically that led to Roman getting Drew McIntyre to pass out to the guillotine. And afterwards, Roman basically told Jey, yep, you redeemed yourself, homie, basically. Excellent main event. Again, very good match. Again, I know some people think these two don't have good chemistry. I get it a little bit, but keep in mind, this match has to fall off one of the worst matches of the year. And they still had a pretty hot match, I gotta say. Especially, again, that second half. So, props to both of them. Excellent match. Last thing to talk about before we get off the air here. The Undertaker. So, this was The Undertaker's final farewell. They brought out legends. There's probably about 15, 16 legends out there. Then they showed this video package for The Undertaker of his 30-year career. But then as soon as they came back, legends were gone. And there was just Vince in the ring, looking old as hell. Dear Lord, he looks bad. And then Taker came out, and Vince was gone. And Taker basically said how, began here 30 years ago, and this is 30 years later, where The Undertaker rests in peace. And then, of course, there was the piped-in Undertaker noises, even though I did not like how they didn't show the virtual crowd. I didn't like that. I mean, what I did like, though, was how that shot where they edited in a shot of Paul Bearer. And Taker posing as he would when Paul Bearer was around. That was great. That was probably the best moment of this farewell segment. And then, of course, Undertaker, leaves, puts his arm up in the air, and that's how the show goes off the air. I know a lot of people weren't happy about this. I understand completely. Taker's a guy like Taker, a legend who's done so much for the business, that, like, when you think WWE, when you think wrestling, you think The Undertaker. And I get it. He should have had this moment in front of a live crowd. He should have had it, where people could actually give organic noises and not piped in crowds. But my thing is if this is what Taker wanted, this is where he wanted to end it, that's up to him. And at this point, again, we don't know when this pandemic's going to get better, so why would Taker keep holding it off? So I get it. Was it the best send-off? No. It was odd. But if it's what Mark Calloway wanted, then it's what he got. I just didn't like how they literally had the legends come out, then just disappear. And then I felt, even though, they have, the screens where the virtual fans are at, how, they always take that away whenever, people are making their entrances. I felt they should have kept them on for Undertaker. I felt they should have kept them on when he was out there. I didn't like how I did that either. But like I said, that's how you wanted to go out. That's how you gone out. And that's going to do it, guys. That's my review of Survivor Series. Not that great of a show. I gave it a C-. People on Twitter, 8 votes. 25% said A, 25% said B, 37.5% said C, and then 12.5% said D or lower. Give it a C-. I really didn't care. I really did not care about the show at all whatsoever. Check the live, check that get off the air. The Women's Survivor Series match should have been on the pre-show. It shouldn't even existed, period. Was that Women's Survivor Series worse than 2013 Women's Survivor Series match? I remember that one, honestly. Oh, Robbie! Look at little Russian Lana. Gonna cry? Ooh. Tyler said, save us, Charlotte. I thought when they wrote off Mandy Rose and Dana Brooke last week that they were going to bring back Charlotte, but didn't happen, unfortunately. If Lana is the face of the women's division, I'm not watching another women's match again. And hashtag thank you, Taker. Basically. So that's going to do it, guys. C- for Survivor Series. I'm going to go watch Raw now. Don't expect a review tonight, though, guys, because, again, I got to be at work an hour earlier again tomorrow, and working overtime right now, so I'll review Raw tomorrow night. So, guys, C- for Survivor Series. What are your thoughts on this show? Do you think it was a waste of time? What are your thoughts on Taker's farewell? Do you think the women's elimination match was the worst match of the year? Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video, subscribe or comment to my channel, and follow me on Twitter at DemandAirboy93. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. Have a good rest of your night. Peace out, everybody.